It's Productions.
What is going on, folks? Welcome into another episode of the Final Drive podcast here at Sour Kids Production Studios. It is Alec. It is Makai. As always, Makai, happy we made it to week one of the NFL.
We did.
It was a great week of football.
It was.
Lots of fun, unless you were a New York sports fan. Then it was not fun.
It was a rough week.
It was a rough week for New York.
Hey, at least if you're a Jets fan, you won. Giants, you stink again. That's tough.
They win in that fashion with everything. And the craziest thing is about that game, right? Like the atmosphere, like leading up to kickoff when the stadium lights blacked out, Rodgers came out with the flag.
That shit was dope.
Like that was like you were like wow, like I felt the atmosphere like from my couch.
Yep.
I was hyped. I was like, okay, the Jets, they might be a fun team this year with Aaron Rodgers. And then what was it? 8 plays.
Four. Yeah, 4.
Was it the first series for the Jets?
First series.
Oh, because Buffalo got the ball and went 3 and okay, yeah, you're right. So yeah, and we'll get into that momentarily with Aaron Rodgers and what that means for Zach Wilson and the Jets and who else they could bring in. Mm-hmm. Before we dive into all that, Makai, let's talk about week one. Obviously, it was a very week one is always kind of weird because I don't necessarily judge it all that much because, for a lot of players, some of the guys don't play in the preseason or they're held out because of injuries throughout training camp and the preseason. Mm-hmm. Obviously, teams just want to rest their guys. So it's a lot of sloppy football nonetheless, but it's football. Mm-hmm. So I'll throw it to you first. Give me some of your takeaways from week one. What stood out to you in the first week of football?
I'd probably say the biggest thing is that a lot of the rookie quarterbacks came out and had pretty decent games. Yeah, which is different than the last 5 years.
Yeah.
So none of the rookie quarterbacks won, did they? No.
Richardson lost.
Bryce lost.
Stroud lost. There's somebody else, isn't there?
I'm pretty sure they're the only 3 in the class to start. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the only 3 in the class started.
Okay, I might be overthinking that. Okay, yeah, so the 3, yeah.
But yeah, they all played really solid. I mean, Richardson was the most impressive of the bunch. I mean, good completion percentage.
Surprising too at that, just because of the team, the Colts. Obviously, I think we had a lot of low expectations on top of the Taylor situation. Yep. And the Colts, they balled. They played competitive.
Oh yeah, they were hanging around. Just fell a little short. He got banged up towards the end. He's gonna be okay. Lewis, I think it was like a knee bruise. I think.
Yeah,
he'll be okay. Bryce played pretty well, turned the ball over twice, which can't do that, but he looked good, looked composed, which I knew he would. Stroud, kind of just a sloppy game because the weather was a little, Baltimore's defense. That's tough for any quarterback, nonetheless a guy that's taking his first snaps in the NFL. But they all held their own, and that was really nice to see, refreshing to see that none of these guys overly struggled.
So. Right. Okay, yeah, I think I'll go with kind of the wide spectrum of games in the sense of scores. Like there were some really high scoring games, and then there were some really low scoring games. Mm-hmm. Let's go to the Dolphins Chargers game first of all. I mean, that was just fun football. I mean, I know Tyreek Hill said before the season, we were talking about because we were watching the games together. We were talking about Tyreek said he wants to break the record for 2,000 yards. Mm-hmm. And we were like, there's just no way anyone could do that. As that game progressed, we kept doing the math.
He's on track.
We kept averaging out the yards he would need per game. And boy, by the end of the game, he on average, he could do it.
He would shatter that record if he did that every week. But we know that's not realistic. But Tyreek Hill, if you play the Chargers every week, man.
Chargers, I mean, we say this every year about the Chargers, don't we? Chargers are going to Charger. They're going to find a way to lose a game in some kind of weird, it feels like every time they lose a game, it's weird. Like, it's something that just doesn't happen to another team.
That's the biggest thing about the Chargers that,
every time.
On paper, they're amazing. They always get banged up. And then, like you said, they always lose in games that just, on ESPN, you can track a game and it's like, oh, they have a 99% chance of winning the football game. Yep. They always lose those games. It's never a coin flip.
Guaranteed.
It's gonna lose.
Yep.
And again, maybe that comes back to the head coach, Staley.
We had our questions about him.
We've had those questions.
We've had those questions about Brandon Staley. J.C. Jackson got cooked.
J.C. Jackson, Michael Davis. Like those guys look like Tyreek made them look like they shouldn't be gracing a football field ever again.
With those long sleeves. The ridiculously long jersey sleeves. And look, to Miami's credit, I think last week I told you I had the Dolphins as my 2 seed in the AFC at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Look, as long as Tua Tagovailoa stays healthy, this team is dangerous. Like there's simply not enough speed you have to compete with Tyreek Hill, with Jalen Waddle, and Tua. You know, Tyreek, when he went to Miami, said Tua might be the most accurate quarterback he's played with, and I mean. Go watch the play. You know, the play leading up to the game-winning touchdown by Tyreek, where Tua steps up, starts to scramble, and throws an absolute dot in stride at Tyreek Hill. Mm-hmm. It's just that's fun football, and I think the Dolphins. I know they allowed a lot of points in that game, but they have the front seven on paper to get pressure, and you saw that at the end of the game with Vic Fangio just absolutely bringing the house on Herbert. Mm-hmm. The Dolphins, man, they're going to be a fun team to watch. And I'm very much – DeAndre is not here, but I'm sure he's going to watch and go, yes, yes, yes. But I'm very much on the Dolphin hype train because I think that's going to be a fun team to watch this year.
That's fair. I just question – I need to see them go against a good zone team because zone is ultimately –
That's what Brandon Staley does.
No, he's a man. Like, they played man against Tyreek the whole game.
But J.C. Jackson's a good zone corner.
I mean, but they
playing in a man scheme.
Yeah.
Chargers logic.
I digress. But no, I really want to see that because, again, like, zone is the ultimate equalizer for, like, guys that are super streaky, mm-hmm. A Tyreek, a Jalen Waddle. So, like, I'm waiting to see that. I kind of question their other weapons, like Braxton Berrios, good special teams guy. Solid, speedy little slot receiver. He's cool.
Had a couple big catches in that game.
100%. Tight end position without Gesicki now. Still kind of cool. I question the consistency from those positions. Not to say that you're ever going to lock up Waddle and Tyree. Like, you can, you can only contain those guys for so long. They're going to go off.
They'll have their big catch.
100%.
When they need it, yeah.
Well, Tyreek catches. That's inevitable. But no, I mean, that was impressive. I mean, going out there and, a lot of expectations on Tua and everything. They showed up. So I'm not going to throw my hat in the ring and be like, oh, the Dolphins are going to be crazy this year. Because, again, I mean, a lot of teams go crazy in week one and then, damn, get to the end of the year. Under 500. Damn.
Yeah. The Jets last year.
Yeah.
For different reasons.
Very different reasons.
Obviously, another game. Let's talk about the Cowboy game real quick. Obviously, this was a game where I think people kind of didn't know what both these teams were. Like, I think last season, the Giants, that was a real miraculous season they had with Daniel Jones and DeBall in their first year together. Mm-hmm. They paid Daniel Jones, and then they got him some wide receivers throughout the draft and free agency. And then Saquon came back on a new deal to play. And the Cowboys, on the other hand, they went and traded two comp picks for two very good veterans in Brandon Cooks, Stephon Gilmore, pretty much ran the same roster back. Mm-hmm. And, we know how much the national media loves to talk about Dak Prescott in every way, shape, and form and fashion. And I think we didn't know what to expect with two division rivals. And yikes. Yikes! If you're a Giants fan, from the get-go, it was rough.
Oh yeah,
the two defensive touchdowns by the Cowboys, more turnovers forced more turnovers by the Giants offense, and the offense for the Cowboys didn't have to do a whole lot, but when they were asked to, they went down the field and scored with ease. It looked like most of that game. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I know you just said you don't look much into week one, but as a Cowboy fan, I mean, how do you feel about the Cowboys? I mean, that was a pretty good all-around team victory, I would say.
Oh, no, 100%. Like, yeah, I mean, going out there and absolutely curb stomping a division rival feels good. Feels good. National TV, didn't turn the ball over. That's all you can really ask for in week one. I mean, when you're playing an inferior opponent. But again, I don't buy into week one because, again, like you said, a lot of these guys, a lot of the starters didn't play much, in preseason.
I mean, look at Joe Burrow. Yeah, he was hurt. He was hurt all camp of preseason. Didn't play at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, was it Jim Schwartz had him in hell?
And Myles Garrett, every Brown defender.
He was really hitting those offensive linemen with basketball moves before the snap, and then.
Could you imagine that? Like, as a lineman, we both played offensive line. Can you imagine looking up and seeing a defensive lineman? Just ready to hit you with a mean crossfade right there.
That must be what it feels like as a swimmer, and you see that dorsal fin on the back of a shark going around you. That feeling must be very unsettling.
You don't even know what to do.
You're
paralyzed.
I'd probably just piss down my leg.
You're paralyzed by fear.
Yeah, 100%. I wouldn't even get out my damn stance. I'm just staying there. He's gonna beat me anyway. But I mean, no. I'm not gonna buy into it because again, the Cowboys always play good in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
I got to see it when it matters. I got to see it. Big game. Death beam pointed at the earth.
Laser beam.
Show up?
Laser beam.
Well, yeah.
Laser beam pointed at the earth.
Yeah, I need to see it then. But
yeah,
I mean, cool. I mean, got a really tough test this week against the. We're gonna preview that later, but playing the Jets.
Yeah.
Which not really worried about that quarterback over there, but
the defense is
that
good.
defense is real.
It is. It's very real. Another game I want to point out. The Eagles, right? Patriots-Eagles. I think that was a game. New England shot themselves in the foot so early on in that game, badly. But then New England roared back.
Oh, yeah.
And Mac Jones, you could have argued they probably should have won that game. So I'm going to throw this question at you. Are you more concerned about the Eagles' inability to really kind of take over that game and the turnovers and all that and, the possible Super Bowl hangover? Mm-hmm. Or are you kind of looking at New England more and going, okay, with an actual coordinator and Bill O'Brien, who's been there and done that, was at Alabama. Could the Patriots actually do something this year offensively and be an all-around good team in the AFC, especially with the injury to the Jets to Aaron Rodgers? So what kind do you take away more from that game?
I'd probably say more about the Eagles. I wouldn't say necessarily Super Bowl hangover. I would say more just a lot of those guys haven't played together, especially on that defense. It's a lot of guys that in their careers have played together because a lot of them are from Georgia.
Yeah.
But in the NFL, they're not a cohesive unit, especially on that back end. They had to replace a lot of guys with guys that are they're cool, but on other teams they're probably backups.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to take some time to gel. I mean, hey, not to discredit the Patriots, they were resilient. They fought back, made some, Mac Jones made some big throws.
I'm telling you, man, I'm not buying into Mac Jones, but I think we both agree we gave him a pass last year.
That was
awful. When your quarterback coach is Joe Judge and your coordinator is Patricia.
Two guys that have never called plays or been on the offensive side of the ball in their lives.
Nope. And they're telling you what to do.
Literally your two right-hand men that you have to report to.
So, but they look good in that game offensively, I would say.
Oh, yeah. I mean, again, the only question for the Patriots right now is the weapons. Because as we saw the report about Juju's knee, eminently ready to explode at any moment. That's pretty concerning.
Stevenson was banged up. Did he play week 1?
I think he did, but he didn't play much. It was a lot of Zeke for the most part because he was dealing with illness on and off during the week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think Mac Jones is cool. He just got to get some weapons around him, but the Patriots don't really like drafting guys high because
the last time they did.
Yeah,
the last time they did that. I would agree with you. I think I kind of look at the Eagles more, and this is more of a I don't know if concern's the right word because, like I said, it's so early on. But I mean, people hyped up Howie Roseman for taking Nakobe Dean and Jordan Davis last year, and then Nolan Smith this year when he fell to them, which is cool. It's a cool concept, right? But at the end of the day, they haven't played yet. Last year, Jordan Davis got hurt early on in the season. Nakobe Dean was more of a backup special teams guy. So them being thrusted into the lineup this year, you got to wait and see them develop. And like you said, just get accustomed to that lineup defensively, especially because I think that we would argue that was probably the biggest strength for the Eagles last year was that front seven. And offensively, I mean, they were sluggish, but again, it's week 1. It's early on in the season. The Eagles are still trying to figure out their backfield as far because I think Penny was a healthy and active. So it's, Swift, it's Kenneth Gainwell, it's Jalen Hurts. So you just got to wait and see what happens with the Eagles. But I mean, if I had to lean one way, I'd lean more like with you towards the Eagles and maybe, let's just kind of see what happens here with this Eagles team.
Yeah, 100%. And again, that's not to discredit the Patriots. That was a whale of a game they played. I mean, a lot of teams would have rolled over.
Yeah,
to start the season, the weather's terrible.
They had the pick six,
the Zeke
fumble. Yeah,
like that would have been like, damn. Well, try again next week. But they didn't. They didn't pack it up. It came down to Kayshon Boutte not getting his damn foot in. Really.
Yeah.
That's what it really came down to, and they would have had a chance to win there at the end. So I mean, hey, this Patriots team, they're not for dead. So
Right. Yeah,
we'll
for
see.
sure. And I think they'll see what happens because, again, with the Rodgers injury, the AFC East is kind of wide open because you saw Buffalo have their own struggles.
Whoa. Josh Allen had his struggles.
You saw Josh Allen have his struggles on Monday night. Miami, I think we both kind of think, I would say right now they might be the front runner for that division.
Oh, 100%.
And New England, you never can count out Bill Belichick, right? Like that's, last year and the year before, they were kind of creeping around in that wild card spot thinking, New England's creeping.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we'll see. But do you have any other games you want to mention?
I mean, hey, might as well get into Josh Allen.
Yeah, you want to? Okay, yeah. Let's talk about the Jets, the Jets and Bills. Obviously, the big storyline coming out of that game was Aaron Rodgers ruptured his Achilles. He's done for the season. It's kind of been official. And I mean, when they go back, when you saw when they rewind, you saw that calf area pop, and
when it disconnects,
that's never good.
Never.
So obviously he's done for the season. The Jets, they still win. Zach Wilson threw a nasty catch by Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, that was a much better catch than a better throw.
Yeah. I think it was supposed to be a back shoulder, and I think earlier we called it off air a front shoulder catch.
Yeah.
And then it came down to overtime, right? Obviously and I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Xavier Gibson,
the Hard Knock star, and it always seems to be those guys, right?
Yep.
Had the phenomenal punt return in overtime. Of course, that coming off of again, the defense kept them in.
Yep.
And recording 3 Josh Allen interceptions, all by Jordan Whitehead, who actually earned his incentive for the year. If he recorded 3 picks or more, he got a $250,000 bonus.
Well, shout out Josh Allen for hooking up bro with $250,000.
So we talk about the Jets in a moment. Let's look at the Bills real quick, right? I think this is a team for the last couple of years we kind of had like that. We've held them to that Super Bowl level of expectations. Josh Allen seemingly got better year by year. Last year was very turnover prone, kind of. I don't know if regress is the right word, but you just saw him being a lot more carefree with the football.
Mm-hmm.
And offensively, you kind of have, I don't know, you're kind of wondering what's really the identity of this team. Are they going to be a power run team with Josh Allen and, with James Cook and Damian Harris, or are they going to be a team that drafted Dalton Kincaid in the first round and you have Stephon Diggs, you have Gabe Davis? What do you think about the Bills right now?
I just think Josh Allen's really pressing. Like he's very much gotten away from what you learn as a young quarterback, and that's take what's there. Take what the defense is going to give you, especially when you're playing a super tenacious, aggressive defense like the Jets.
Stupid front seven.
Like a defense can't take everything away. They're going to live with those, quick outs, quick slants. They're going to live with that. They're going to take away your deep posts, your whether it be inverted or, skinny posts, things of that nature. And Josh he trusts his arm a lot, which he has, he has a rocket of a right arm. It's easily the best arm in the NFL, but man, at some point you just take the check down, man. don't.
James Cook is sitting there in the flat.
He's sitting there. Just throw him the ball. He'll go get 5 yards and we'll live to fight another day. But just getting into this Superman mode, and then didn't even talk about when he ran the ball. Didn't slide not once.
Nope.
That dude, and it's cool, that gets the team on the sideline kind of pumped up. Like, oh, yeah, our quarterback, he's a badass.
Yeah.
That'll knock you out of a game eventually.
And I guess another thing to piggyback off of that point is, look at a guy like Cam Newton, right? Cam Newton did not get flags called for him when he got hit. Do you know why? Because Cam Newton, when he was running, did not slide. He took the hits. He would lean his head forward and not go down easy. Which
is like great. Like the toughness is fantastic, but as a franchise guy,
you saw how short his prime was.
Oh yeah,
because the injuries eventually do
stacked
add
up.
Yeah,
and the fact that his personality is very big.
Yeah.
But Josh Allen, man, me and my friend were talking about this. My friend John, we were talking about this during the middle of the game. He's a lot more like Josh Freeman than I really thought. He is.
I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Rightfully so.
He's a great trivia answer.
He's gonna be. He's gonna even like give it another 10 years. He's gonna be a great.
great trivia.
Immaculate grid answer, or
yeah, he'll
Jeopardy.
be on Colin Coward goes to break and he has the random trivia question.
Yeah, he's gonna be a hell of an answer one day.
Yeah, but that's interesting. I never thought about the Freeman Allen comparison.
Yeah, both athletic, both big frame, both big arms. Similar kind of numbers when it came to picks to touchdowns. Like it's kind of flirting with it. So Josh Allen, he's got to get back to the basics. I think he is still one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, but he's got to stop pressing so much, stop forcing the ball to Stephon Diggs, let it come naturally because he's going to be open. He's Stephon Diggs.
Mm-hmm. Just
relax, everything will be okay. But if you press, you're going to throw 3 interceptions to one guy, which you did.
And you got to play. I think his problem also is he tries to play hero ball every time.
Yep.
He's trying to force a ball he shouldn't. Like you say, he shouldn't. He's forcing balls he shouldn't force, and that ultimately is what A, kept the Jets in the game, but then B, gave them momentum. As low as they got when Aaron Rodgers went down, the defense kept them in that game, and the offense did just enough to send it to overtime, and you saw what happened.
Exactly.
Right? So, I agree. I think the Bills, I'm hovering over that panic button because we saw this last year, and they just can't get over the hump. And the AFC got immensely better the last couple of years. Yeah, it's not just like I think when Brady retired, we thought, oh, Josh Allen and the Bills, that's the next team in the AFC East to run it.
The next dynasty for them there.
Yeah, and then Miami got better. Miami's good. The Jets got, the Jets, they're going to hang around, I think, and then the Patriots are still there. And the AFC is like 20 times better.
Yep.
So
they gotta watch out. Teams are coming for them. Teams, you've been on the pedestal. Teams, you got a big old target on your back, and the Bills don't look like they're really prepared for that right now.
I don't think so either. Let's talk about the Jets then. Obviously, other side of the ball here, other side of the ball, I guess. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Obviously, first series out there for the Jets. Aaron Rodgers. Achilles was popped, done for the season. For now, it looks like they're going to turn to Zach Wilson as the guy that they feel like can step in right now and help this team out ultimately. You heard from Jet players and coaches, and it just shock, I think, is the word for them. Because I really do think with Aaron Rodgers, I'm not going to say they were a Super Bowl favorite for me, but I looked at that team on paper, and you're assuming you have an Aaron Rodgers who buys into the team, which if you watch Hard Knocks, he did buy into he bought into the culture with Robert Saleh, with the young guys. Mm-hmm. Like, he bought in 100%. And I was like, the Jets might be a fun team this year. Mm-hmm. And, it sucks. I was like, man, that's not fun.
Yeah, that was tough. I think, okay, let me just say this first. The work of those reporters, just the absolute, don't know the word now, the word's evading me, but the stomach of them to go to Dwayne Brown, the guy that missed the block on the guy that...
The cut block?
Yeah, the cut block. Just having the thought in your head. Again, I understand as a reporter, especially a beat writer, they put pressure on you, literally your livelihood hangs in the balance of asking the questions they tell you to. But man, just going to a guy that literally just lost their guy. They just lost the guy that the teammates were starting to love. It was going to be the leader of the locker room to a career, not career ender, but season-ending injury. Mm-hmm. Yeah, go up and ask, hey, so how do you feel knowing you're the guy that got your quarterback hurt?
And that's so tough to ask somebody. And I mean, cut blocks. I mean, you played offensive line. Those work maybe. Well, not even 50%.
20,
if that.
Cut
blocks are never. They never work.
I was 0 for 30 in my career. I just stopped cutting.
They never work. They never work, and it's just, I don't know. We talked about it. I think right when we started recording about the atmosphere of that game. The stadium was blacked out. The fans were going crazy. Rodgers came out with the flag. You're like, this is going to be a fun atmosphere for the season. The Jets make it to the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
And now.
Literally for just to implode like a balloon.
Yeah.
Before your eyes was not heartbreaking. Because, again, I like Aaron Rodgers. He's not my guy. But, man, that's just.
Tough.
Literally. Yeah. All this lead up, all this build up, all this talk. And then your season's over.
And, yeah. And I think a lot of people maybe weren't Aaron Rodgers fans going into the season. Mm. But then when you watched Hard Knocks, you saw a different side of Rodgers. You saw the way he hangs out and reacts with players in that locker room and everything, you're like, it's a very different Aaron than what you've kind of been told in Green Bay what he was like.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just unfortunate to see. And again, he's going to be 40 next year. He kind of already put out on Instagram a very Harvey Dent-esque quote from The Dark Knight.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know if, obviously it's only week 1. We don't know if he's going to come back, but I mean, it's one hell of a comeback story if he does.
Oh no, 100%. I think he does. I just think it's tough because we've never seen
a quarterback,
a 40-year-old.
Yep.
Nonetheless, a quarterback, especially somebody like Aaron Rodgers who extends a lot of plays with his feet.
Yep.
It's tough because again, you have to wait a week to get the surgery because you have to wait for the swelling to go down.
Mm-hmm.
You have the surgery. You don't get to walk on it for like 4 months.
Yep.
So you lose you have crazy muscle atrophy in your leg. Your calf is literally goes from being this to like that. You got to learn how to walk again. You got to learn how to flex.
Let alone football workouts.
Oh yeah, that's nothing football related. That's just regular day-to-day things you can't do. So it's a long road.
You got to be able to put drive in it again when you throw, when you step into a throw, and
learn how to trust it.
Yeah.
It's a long road for Aaron Rodgers, but I think if anybody's going to do it, it's going to be Aaron Rodgers.
It'd be a fun story. I'll be all for it next season.
Comeback player of the year. Add that to the list.
Yeah, that's one he doesn't have yet.
Yeah,
he has everything except that one.
Yeah.
But with the Jets going forward, right? Zach Wilson, obviously, first round pick. A couple years ago? No, last year.
This is
year
3 for him.
Year 3. So third year, obviously, was thrusted into the lineup and looked okay given the circumstances on Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Saleh and the Jets have seemed very confident right now going forward with Zach Wilson. They play here against the Cowboys next week, and that's been a big headline here locally. Because I think everyone was kind of looking forward to the Rodgers-Cowboys matchup.
I was not, because I knew he was going to whoop our ass. He doesn't lose in Dallas.
Come back.
He does not lose in Dallas.
So, I mean, look, if you're the Jets, right, like Zach Wilson, what are you doing here? Are you going to buy into Zach Wilson? Do you think he's a guy who can at least navigate you through the season? Or are you kind of looking, at a guy in free agency, maybe through the trade market? I mean, what are you thinking here?
I would definitely add another guy to the room. I mean, obviously Aaron's still going to be around, but he's got physical therapy. He's going to have a surgery or two to, fix the Achilles. So he's not going to be around the building now. I would bring in a tenured veteran, maybe like a Chase Daniels, a guy that's seen a bunch of different defenses, been a bunch of different systems offensively, that can grab that playbook really quickly.
Nick Foles.
And just, again, I'm not looking for him to play. Zach Wilson, he has all the ability. I just think he needs a sure voice when he comes off the field. Something went wrong, whether he missed a guy open, but throw-wise or just going through his progressions and misses him. He just needs a sure voice that believes in him on the sideline.
Yeah.
That bring him back down to earth. Because the biggest thing with Zach Wilson in the league has been the fact that
his confidence was shot.
Confidence is awful.
Yeah.
And he doesn't gracefully go through progression. He panics. Like you can see the gears in his head speeding up as the play takes longer and longer.
He panics.
And he doesn't have that gear in his head that's like, okay, let's just throw it away. Or I'm pretty athletic. Let me run for 2 yards, slide, live to fight another down. Right. He's always going to do something stupid, boneheaded.
Mm-hmm.
And he just needs to relax. You got great weapons around you. You have a bunch of guys that believe in you. Like the front office already came out and said, this is the guy. They're showing you a lot of confidence. Just relax.
Trust the coaches and then your teammates.
100%. So, yeah, if I'm the Jets, not to sound like that, he's really your only option. Because we've never seen a guy come off the streets and then get inserted into the lineup and just, the team just takes off.
Mm-hmm.
So he's the guy for you. Bring in a Chase Daniels, bring in a Nick Foles just to be his sure voice in his corner, and pray to God it works.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I think those are, even Joe Flacco. You can bring my Flacco to be a backup. He was there with the team last year.
Joe Flacco needs to be a family.
Cole McCoy's another guy who's been in the league. He's been in the league for a long time.
No.
He's been in the league for a long time. He knows a lot of offenses. Even a trade candidate, Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston, maybe a Cooper Rush,
Yeah. Or, I think Mariota's still in Philly, right?
I think everybody's turned the page on Mariota. Sadly, that hurts me because I love Marcus Mariota. That's my guy.
After the preseason, you've seen enough. and quarterback. Actually, quarterback, you didn't see enough of him, actually.
Yeah, it might be time to be a family man.
So, I mean, they got options, but I agree with you. I think the Jets need to just stick with Zach Wilson. I mean, I think obviously one example I look at was, look at Tua. I mean, Tua from the Brian Flores era to Mike McDaniel, instantly his confidence was probably at his lowest with Brian Flores because Brian Flores was not a Tua fan. And then you see Mike McDaniel come in and build the offense around Tua and, just put that confidence by, hey, we're going to get this right. You and me, we're good. Like, just stay calm. We're going to figure it out. It'll be all right. We got a good team.
I think belief is one of those things that's lost.
It works.
Sports.
Yeah.
Like it's something else. Like being let's just random coach. Let's go to basketball. Like young point guard or something, and then like Greg Popovich puts his hand on your shoulder and is just like, hey, calm down. I've seen you do this in practice a million times. You got this.
Mm-hmm.
Just anybody believing in you and letting you know that you have what it takes to do what you need to do.
Yeah.
Is all you really need. Because again, you make it to this level, you have the ability. Mm-hmm. That's not a question.
The talent's there.
You just gotta. The mental aspect of the game needs to catch up to where your physical attributes are at.
Yeah, and I'm rooting for Zach Wilson this year. I really am. I think it'd be a cool story to see if he can maybe help get the Jets in a playoff contention spot, if you will.
But there's also pressure behind this.
Oh yeah, 100%.
If you're asked,
because this roster is so ready to win right now.
If you're asked, they're going to turn the page on you. You're gonna get shipped out to Timbuktu for a bag of potato chips. We will never speak of your name again.
Yeah, that's fair.
And you were right off into the sunset.
Yeah.
So
I want to ask you this question. I was talking about this with a guy at work, and we could not come up with an answer to this question. So Aaron Rodgers, right, comes in, new team. Obviously, the Jets gave up a first to get him.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously the roster in New York was already good before Aaron got there. They were simply, quite literally, a quarterback away from competing right now, right?
Yeah.
And then Aaron comes out week 1, obviously goes done for the year. I can't think of another moment in sports, at least in our time, where the hype was so real for a guy going to a new team and then you instantly just didn't see it happen year 1 because of an injury.
Gordon Hayward, Celtics.
Oh, opening night,
first play. That was graphic too.
That was yeah, that was tough to watch.
Baseball, no.
Because I thought of an NFL guy, but it's kind of a cheat because he played his first year and then got hurt.
Who is it?
RG3.
True.
Because man, Washington was RG3 with the Redskins or the then Redskins. That was fun. And you thought, okay, this is the future right here. And then that crappy ass field with Mike Shanahan ruined it. And Mike Shanahan ruined it.
Yeah, that's probably the next closest thing I could think of.
Is RG3, right?
Yeah, honestly.
I can't think of any other quarterback, especially a quarterback where it's like he's with a new team coming in the league and the hype was already there for the first season.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't think of anyone.
That's just, man, it sucks. The NFL really needs to get rid of turf. Really.
You want some grass? You want natural grass?
Yeah, natural grass, it's better. I mean, I remember from my playing days, grass just is so much better. Like, I always told people that. Like, yeah, like, turf looks cool, kicking up the pellet. Like, when somebody gets juked out and the pellets kick up, it looks cool. But
right.
The practicality of playing on a turf field is not – it's just not good.
Yeah.
So, the only thing is that, like, some teams have to have turf because their climate's so bad. And, like, the field would get chalked every week.
I mean, look at Washington.
Yeah, Washington, that natural grass field is absolutely horsed because it rains so much there.
Yeah, look at Boston with the weather. You got there in New England.
Yeah, Seattle.
Yeah.
Everybody just needs to have a dome.
That's your alternate solution. but then you got to pay more to upkeep the grass without the sunlight.
That's true because you got to wheel it in and out like they do in Arizona. And that nobody likes the Arizona field either.
Is that grass or turf in Arizona?
It's grass.
Is it really?
Natural grass.
Really?
They wheel it out and they grow it outside and then they wheel it in.
Oh.
And people hate it. They say it's awful. So I don't know what you do, but you got to maybe move every team out of the Northeast. I don't know. Like
rearrange the divisions.
Change the division. I don't know. You got to do something because turf stinks.
Yeah, it does. Okay, so we'll see what happens with the Jets. It's going to be it's only week 1. It's still a lot of football left for them. Mm-hmm. We'll see. But let's move on to some winners and losers from week 1 before we get into week 2 now. So Makai, give me a couple of teams or players you think really won in week 1 or lost.
I'm gonna say Calvin Ridley.
Okay, that's a good choice. He had a real good comeback game.
Oh yeah, I knew he was gonna play good because Calvin Ridley just when you look at him, he's 6'1", about 4.4 speed, great route runner. Like he's everything you want in a receiver. He's super shifty after the catch. He looked good. He looked really good. What was it? 8 catches, 107 touchdown.
8 catches, 101 and a touchdown.
Damn, I was close. Off the top of my head too.
He had a killer first half too. He had like 70 of those yards in the first half.
Oh, he was killing. Long run down the sideline. He
Yep.
looked real good. So happy for the Jaguars, and happy that Calvin Ridley got a second chance. So people can hopefully forget about that incident.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
One would hope that.
Yeah.
All right, I'll match you with another victory for a player. I'll go with Baker Mayfield, right? On the road against Minnesota week 1, people really didn't know what kind of team the Bucs were going to be, because they had let go a lot of veterans. They hit the dead cap this year to just kind of absorb it all immediately. They bring in Baker, and people were kind of wondering, well, if you have Baker, are you rebuilding or are you just simply tanking and just, Baker just looks good on paper to where, the fans will get too upset about it. You sucking. But in that game, 21 of 34, 173 yards, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. It was a good day for Baker Mayfield. And, he looked sharp. He looked like a guy who, we talked about earlier, maybe that confidence, that spark that he was missing, it looked like maybe he was found again in that game against the Vikings. So it was just good to see Baker being happy. The team rallied around him in the post game, in the locker room. He made some good throws in that game, and to beat a team that won 13 games last year in week 1 at their dome, it's always a good victory.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, Baker. You mean I'm a Baker guy.
That I do know.
I was very happy for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bucs honestly looked really good. Mike Evans still looked like Mike Evans. Baker, got him the ball. Offensive line held up pretty decently,
considering everything they're going through. Yeah,
I definitely don't see them being like crazy. But hey, you never know. Maybe if Baker can keep this up, maybe make some bigger plays and add a little bit more to his game. What he's doing now, you never know. Maybe they're hanging around in a wild card spot. You never know. But that'd be interesting because it's damn, if you're the Buccaneers, you really set yourself up for a full rebuild, and now your picks in the teens,
right?
So that'd be interesting from a front office perspective. So, hey, I'm rooting for it. I love to see Baker succeed. Any Oklahoma quarterback succeed makes me happy.
You got a loser in week 1. I think we have the same one in mind, but I'll let you throw the jabs at him if you want.
I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say the losers the Ravens.
Really?
From the running back perspective, because it's same thing every year. That running back position gets demolished.
It's the same 3 guys too.
Yep, every year.
It's J.K., it's Gus Edwards, and then it's Justice Hill.
Yep, and man, I know J.K. Dobbins is going through it. I know this is what
back-to-back season-ending injuries.
Back-to-back.
Yeah,
man, that stinks. Not that I'm the biggest fan of J.K. Dobbins, but just as a former athlete, just thinking about it, man, you work so hard to get back on the field first week. It's not fair, man.
That's a good point. I'll go with the team as my loser, and it's not the Bengals. I'm going to go with the Seahawks. I say this because I think everyone predicted that Seattle, including myself,
you did.
Including myself, I thought Seattle was honestly kind of, at least in my opinion, the favorite for the division. At home week 1 with all the hype around them, and they come out and lose by double digits to the Rams, a team with no weapons, no anything. Their 2 breakout receivers, Tutu Atwell and Pakunuka, both had over 100 yards and absolutely torched the Seahawks. And they had 3 touchdowns on the ground.
Yep.
And Matt Stafford had a pretty good day, no touchdowns or picks, but 24-38, and he had 334 yards through the air. They just got goose egged at home.
But I think that's just saying something that like the Seahawks were riding their own horse a little high. They were a little high on themselves. It's the Rams. I mean, Matthew Stafford basically damn near had the equivalent to a career-ending injury, but still playing.
Mm-hmm.
The team, missing Cooper Kupp, Aaron Donald's a year older. Like, we're gonna roll over.
No Ramsey.
No Ramsey. So it's like, okay, we're gonna roll over them. And the Rams came out and said, you know what? Fuck that noise. So again, I think the Rams are gonna be awful, but
yeah, they will be.
I think that's just a wake-up call for the Seahawks. They're like, okay, like, guys, we got to play. We got to play to these standards that everybody's setting for us.
Mm-hmm. So
I think they'll be all right, but that's understandable on your part.
Yeah. So I'll go with the Seahawks. All right. What do you got? Anyone else?
Daniel Jones.
Was a loser?
Yeah, and I say it from the fact that, like, okay, like, the conditions were bad. It's terrible to lay a goose egg at home, But, man, just, like, the Giants leaving him out there was so questionable to me.
Yep.
Like, he's a franchise guy. And, like, it's like the third or fourth time we talked about it. Confidence. That's a confidence buster, just getting out there chased around by Michael Parsons, getting hit.
It was the Cowboys pulled Micah.
Yeah.
They pulled Micah by like the second quarter.
As you should.
It was the backups who were still getting through.
No, they're just that almost felt like old Rome when you would throw somebody in the middle of like the Coliseum and just let a tiger just absolutely eat them up. That's what it felt like, seriously. Like,
yeah,
and that's supposed to be your guy.
Every play he was running around,
trying to do something. I mean, it is some boneheaded stuff, but he was trying to make plays.
When you get down, what was it at halftime?
27-0.
Yeah. 27-0. Yeah. When you're down by that much at half, all you can do is throw the ball. You just gotta pray and throw yourself back in the game.
Yeah, that's a tough situation. So, like, again, I was just thinking to myself, like, why is he still in the game? Just put who's their backup? Was it Tyrod?
Yeah, it is Tyrod.
Yeah, Tyrod. Throw his ass out there and let him deal with it.
Let him get massacred.
Not the guy I overpaid and is already getting questions in the media about how good he is and
if
he can elevate his game. Like, I'm not gonna feed him to the wolves like that. That was pitiful. So,
that's true.
Giants do better.
I have one more winner, and this is a trio of players. I'm gonna go with warning, homer pick here. I'm gonna go with the trio that is the New Orleans Saints wide receivers.
Okay.
Chris Olave, 8 catches on 10 targets for 112 yards. Rashid Shaheed, 5 catches for 89 yards and a touchdown on 6 targets. Michael Thomas, 5 catches, 61 yards and 8 targets. If the Saints get this kind of production from the top 3 receivers every week of the season, they're going to be good. They're going to be a good offensive team. Derek Carr had a good day through the air, despite, the offensive line was struggling, mostly throughout that game. But if you get those 3 guys going with Olave kind of being your all-around star, Thomas beating you up across the middle of the field, and Shaheed as your deep threat, that offense is going to be scary to watch this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been telling you, I think the Saints could very much be like the Eagles of last year with the easy schedule. They can just dominate teams, and it wouldn't shock me if they won 13 games. Now, I don't think they will, but if those receivers keep doing those kind of numbers week in and week out, then they're going to be a good team offensively. Not to mention they had 3 picks on Ryan Tannehill, 3 sacks. The Saints are for real, I think.
Oh, that's fair. I just, again, like you kind of alluded to a little bit there, the offensive line just got to play better. It's tough to run the ball against the Titans, but that was atrocious.
It was, yeah. Well, no Kamara, no Kamara, no Kendre Miller. You're just forcing Jamal Williams all throughout that game.
Yeah, you just want to see that be a little better, and we'll really see when AK gets back. We'll see what this offensive line is made of and the ability to create holes for the running backs.
Right.
Because you just want to see balance. You really want to see balance. I don't really want to see Derek Carr have to throw the ball that many times. So,
and he looked good when he did. I'll admit he made throws when he needed to.
100%.
He made big throws in that game.
Yeah, I'm not taking that away from him. Again,
it feels so. I'm sorry, it feels so good after seeing Andy Dalton and Jameis Winston the last 2 years. Did you see the clip of Carr mic'd up
mm-hmm.
when he says, "Hey, on that 3rd down to ice the game, he said, I want to throw a ball to Shaheed." He's got that Louisiana accent down too. He said, "Shaheed, run a go." I said, that's beautiful. Andy Dalton would never.
Yeah, that shit reminded me of Brian Kelly. But hey, go off, man. Go off. But yeah, just establish better balance on offense, and then we'll see.
I like it.
Give your best every week, and you never know.
I like it. You got anybody else?
Honestly, no. I think that's really it. I think it was a really good week 1. You know,
You don't talk about the Bengals?
that's just kind of like a.
I'm not panicking on the Bengals at all, really.
I'm still just questioning why release Lyle Collins. Like, I don't know what the extent of his injury was. So maybe it was really bad. Their specialists in the building were like, man, he's never gonna play again. You know,
I mean, maybe it's a personality thing. I mean, you saw it kind of the relationship here in Dallas kind of soured between Lyle and the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Maybe it's a personality thing in Cincinnati. Maybe I don't know. Maybe that's what it was.
Maybe they were like, hey, get your big ass a guard again. And he was just like, no.
Why is Jonah playing right tackle?
That's just a head scratcher, man, because you invested all this money in that offensive line, and man, Joe Burrow was running for his damn life.
I mean, because that line is what Orlando's a free agent. Ted Karras, the center, is a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
Their right guard. Who's the right guard?
He was a free agent too.
That's a name too.
Kappa.
Alex Kappa from Tampa. You're right. And then Volstr was a rookie, so you drafted. And then Jonah was a draftee, and Lyle was a free agent. So the fact that they've done all this last 2 years since the Super Bowl, and Joe Burrow was still running for his life every snapping Sunday, crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. I mean, so Lyle Collins, obviously, he is off the PUP list. He got cut, as we kind of alluded to a second ago. Kind of one of the more, I don't know if premier is the right word, but he's a notable name for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you see him going to? Do you see anybody maybe picking him up?
I'll probably see your team, the Saints. They kind of need some left guard help because y'all had James Hurst at left guard.
Yeah, James Hurst beat out Andrews Pete, so yeah,
it might be time to kick the tires on somebody different.
Yeah, I would very much like Lyle Collins in our lineup.
But then again, you have to convince him to
play guard. Well, if no one else is going to sign him, he might not have a choice.
But I mean, hey, if he's hard headed, he might be like, yeah, fuck that.
hey, you see what Ram's doing? I want to do that.
Exactly. And then at that point, you just move Ramczyk to left tackle, and now Lyle Collins is right.
But then Trevor Penning, he needs to develop.
On the bench. Mental reps.
I'm trying to think. Who needs offensive line help? The Giants. Nah, that's just the Cowboys.
The Cowboys, they do so much wacky stuff on defense. That's tough. I mean,
everyone needs offense, and he provides versatility. He can play both tackle and guard.
He's a great athlete in space on screens.
No, he's a guy who's played in the league, seen a lot of looks defensively. I mean, he'll get picked up. I think if and when he is healthy, he'll get picked up. I think
Raiders.
Yeah,
Raiders. He'd look good in some black and silver. He would.
With Jimmy Garoppolo.
Gotta have somebody to protect his ass.
By the way, shout out to Sean Payton. Did you see the tomfoolery he pulled off in that game? First
that onside kick was crazy.
The first kickoff of his Bronco tenure, he pulls a surprise onside kick like in the Super Bowl. Crazy.
I got a bone to pick with Sean Payton about that game. Play Marvin Williams, Marvin Mims, bro.
I thought you meant the Super Bowl.
Yeah, like. Because we were watching we watched all the games together on Sunday.
That we did.
Who was the receiver that kept getting targets? And I'm just like, why the fuck is Marvin Mims not playing?
Now it's gonna bother me.
God, because it was like a linkier guy, like Tim Patrick, or is he?
He's done for the season.
Who was it? Dang it.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about your Bears, Mackay. Or did you avoid that on purpose?
I avoided it on purpose.
Okay.
Thanks for bringing it up.
Okay, well, I just figured I'd check.
That play call is absolutely horse.
Just figure. Little Jordan Humphrey.
Why
former
the hell?
Former Saint. That's why he's a former Saint. Former Saint. That's why.
Play Marvin Mims. Damn it. I don't even have him on fantasy. I just want to see he could be so dynamic, and then like y'all need some speed. He's the guy. I know it's week 1, but that pissed me off. But I mean, we might as well talk about it while we're here. The Bears laid an egg.
I'm not gonna lie, that may have been the most disappointing team in week 1 because we were all hyped. We all talked ourselves into the idea of Rodgers is gone. Jordan Love's an unknown commodity right now. Justin Fields can continue off of last season where he was at. You add in DJ Moore. I mean, Chase Claypool had a full off season with the Bears, which was,
he's on the hot seat. You play like that in week 2, your ass is gone.
and I mean, at the end of the day, same result, different quarterback. Jordan Love just had his way with the Bears, and the Bears offensively continued to shoot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, that offense had no explosion to it. Justin, I will say the one thing about Justin, not that I don't think the whole game was on him, but I think he was super conservative. Like, but then again, when you got Chase Claypool's big ass who's giving zero effort running routes, blocking, that's a negative. Man. I didn't like the plays they were calling. It was strange. They couldn't really run the ball. I don't think Khalil Herbert's a number 1 running back. And then again, Deontay Foreman's not really much of that either.
Right.
I think the Bears really should look at Kareem Hunt. Honestly, I would personally.
So the Ravens.
Yeah. So should the Ravens. And just whatever the offense's game plan was for this year, change that shit because that was pathetic.
Yeah. Got your Bears ran out.
Yeah.
You okay now?
Yeah. I don't even know the OC's name, but he can suck an egg because he's awful. He should be unemployed. He better be in the unemployment line Monday morning. He needs to be.
All right, then let's move on to do you want to go and pick the games or you want to talk a little basketball real quick?
We talk a little basketball real quick.
Talk a little basketball. So obviously, as you know, Team USA lost out on the opportunity to win a medal in the FIBA World Cup tournament. They lost to Canada.
Yeah, because the first loss was Germany. And then Canada.
And then Canada. Dylan Brooks put up 40 points, and if you watch the NBA at all last season, you know what kind of player Dylan Brooks is. He's gonna speak some slander, and that ultimately that got to LeBron apparently.
Yeah.
The reports coming out that LeBron is he's committed to Team USA next year for the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
And he apparently already has word that Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, among other veteran players such as Damian Lillard, Devin Booker,
Draymond Green.
Well, they snuck in Draymond like that. We wouldn't notice.
Anthony
Davis. I feel like I'm missing another big Tatum.
Yeah, Tatum.
Yep. Yeah. So he's basically putting together the All-Star team, it looks like. He's going to be recruiting everyone to play in the Olympics next year and just absolutely dominate in Paris. But we were talking about it, off air, how a lot of guys don't like to play in the FIBA Cup because, international basketball rules are a lot different than the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, for a lot of guys who want to just rest in the off season, enjoy some time off, that's just not something they want to do. And I totally get that. But, obviously I couldn't help but think of the Redeem Team documentary that came out last year. Was it last year or this year?
It was last year.
It was last year with, it's funny because like LeBron was so young then and was just he was just figuring out like how to play. Like we talked about, like on paper, the superstars, they should dominate the cup.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of these international teams, they play together for a long time. And I think for them, it's a lot more serious than I think a lot of the players here take it.
Oh, it's their Super Bowl.
Yeah. Like this is like, it is. It's their NBA finals right here. Game 7. This is where they put it all out.
Yeah, because if you don't win, you get shunned from your village. So you better bring your A game, buddy.
Village is a wild word choice. Oh, village is a wild.
I mean, you can't tell me that Lithuania doesn't have villages.
I mean, probably.
Yeah. Small country. Not undeveloped, but that sounds crazy. I'm gonna just show my ass because I'm offending somebody.
Continue on with your point.
I don't even remember where I was at.
I think for a lot of guys, this is a lot more than just a basketball game. It really is, and a lot of you saw the roster that the Team USA had. It's a lot of guys in the NBA who are second, third choices on the team.
I mean,
there were a couple first.
Outside of Tyrese Halliburton, Anthony Edwards, Michael Bridges. Michael. Jaren Jackson. Which Jaren Jackson, his big ass, he needs his big ass beat, bro. Get your big ass in the paint.
2 rebounds a game.
God bless America.
Or 2.9, I guess, but yeah.
It's pathetic. Wasn't really protecting the rim like that. Yeah. That it was a lot of guys you needed to play their best, and they didn't play their best when it mattered most, and that's okay. That's okay.
Austin Reeves did.
Austin Reeves was hooping. Austin Reeves he's really turned that corner. I think, a couple guys get banged up or they just don't want to play in the All-Star game. We can see him as an All-Star. He's a really good game. I like him a lot. But no, I think this really reminds me of, whenever Dion went to Colorado and he let all the players know, like, yeah, I'm bringing my luggage and it's Louis. That's what LeBron said. I'm bringing my shit and they coming.
I'm bringing my players and they got accolades.
Yeah, that what was it, Australia? Was it Australian? The Australian guy that was like sticking his tongue out at Austin Reeves.
Yeah.
Keep that same energy, buddy. We'll see you in Paris.
Yeah, because I think, and again, I think it's so cool to see all these stars come together, and I think something that they all learned, or at least the older players learned in that documentary, was Kobe kind of taught them how to play together, as a team, like team basketball and the mentality. So. And I think for LeBron, for Curry, for Durant, this is probably their last run at an Olympic title, at the gold. Mm-hmm. So I'm for it. I'm very much for this team coming together and dominating, I guess, in the Olympics. We'll see.
Oh yeah, that's the best thing about him bringing these older guys, because they understand, like, not to say like everybody has egos in the NBA, but these guys understand that, like, when you get on this worldwide
international stage,
you have to share the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what makes Argentina so tough. That's what makes Germany so tough. Like France so tough. Well, even though they didn't really do much of FIBA.
But not to mention they have some NBA talent sprinkled in on those teams, on those international teams.
Yeah, not to discredit,
which helps.
Like Spain having Juancho Hernan-Gomez. Like, yeah, they're cool NBA players and like guys that've been in the league, or they're not now or whatever.
Right.
But again, they play team basketball. They make that extra pass to a guy that's wide open, get a wide open three, which is, when you play on that kind of stage, a super high percentage when it's wide open. So, yeah, just having guys that understand that, like, make that extra pass. You don't have to put up 30. Just get your 15, 7 assists, go sit on the bench. Like, we understand you're a superstar, but, like, we don't need you to go out there and try to backpack this team, because we have enough talent to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It'll be exciting.
Also, the NBA passed another rule, or the rule that teams can no longer sit 2 superstars for a period of time, right? Yeah. Or is it for games? A game.
Just any game. You can't have both your superstars out.
Do you want to take a guess at who Vegas is betting the first team to?
The Clippers.
Yeah.
PG and Kawhi be like, regular season. Regular season games? You telling me there's poor families that spend their hard-earned money on tickets to see me play? Fuck them.
That's okay. My knee's a little funny tonight. We're just gonna sit this one.
And that's the thing. Like, all you have to do to, like, escape the rules is be like, oh, got banged up in practice, I'm out tonight. Yeah. That's all they have to do. So, like, it's not, the rule isn't really a huge deal. I think guys should care about the regular season, but I understand 82 games.
That's a lot of games
on top of the playoffs, and then you go overseas and play FIBA, or you go to the World Cup. Like, that's a lot of basketball.
You have the play-in tournament.
Yep.
And then I guess now you have the mid-season tournament, which, again, I don't understand the point or concept of.
Yeah, Adam Silver needs his ass whoop with a hot belt for that. This ain't soccer, bro.
I don't understand why you need a mid-season tournament.
Like, you can't even sit out of that either. You have to play. LeBron was definitely like,
I don't get it, the point. But again, I think as a fan, it's kind of frustrating, because again, NBA games are not cheap. Like, if you go see if you go watch a Lakers game or a Celtics game, or like if you want to see the stars play, they're not cheap. And you would think, hey, if the Lakers are coming to, I don't know, Charlotte to play the Hornets, right?
They'd be cheaper. You
would think they'd be cheaper.
Nope.
But the NBA says, no, LeBron's coming in town. Raise that price up. So I understand. And it's not like you never know what games they are or they're not going to play. So it's frustrating as a fan.
Oh, 100%. I think. Yeah, I think especially like that's like your kid's favorite player. That's got to be tough. Like, right. He's not going to play tonight, Timmy. We're not going
to see LeBron.
Stop crying.
But look, it's Austin Reeves.
Hey, Austin Reeves. I mean, hey, Cam Reddish,
Anthony Davis. Well, might be asking a lot of Anthony Davis.
Torian Prince.
Yeah. D'Angelo Russell.
Lost me there.
You can see him staying after to make shots.
Golly. So I understand the rule. They want to keep, especially TV ratings and the regular season's awful.
Yeah.
So I understand it.
Because we only watch it during. I only at least only watch if it's a national game or if it's the playoffs.
Exactly. Because then okay. Side note, talking about the NBA, NFL too. Like, if you really want your numbers viewership to be high, stop blacking out local games. Let me see the games that's right down the damn street for me. I need to see it. If you want me, like I'm a sports fan, I want to watch it, but damn, I get on my streaming platform that I pay $300 for the season, and I can't even see the game that, again, it's 20 miles away from me. That's got to change.
It's true. Also, make it more accessible. Like I hate how baseball or the MLB and the NBA has it through Bally.
Yep.
Because through Bally, you have to go through like 16 different loopholes to get Bally itself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's way too overly complicated.
It is. And the casting of the games are ass.
Yeah.
It's ugh. Do better. If you want people to view your games, your viewership numbers to be better for more ads and things like that, more ad revenue, do better on your part. Because that's ridiculous.
Exactly. I just don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. Okay, you ready for some picks?
Let's pick them.
Let's picks. All right, let's do it. Week 2 of the NFL kicks off tonight. Thursday night is when we're recording. So obviously when this comes out, the game will be over. But it's the Vikings at Philadelphia taking on the Eagles.
No major injuries on either side.
Nope. I'll take the Eagles. Take the Eagles.
I take the Eagles big. I think they come out, heard a lot of noise, like a Super Bowl hangover, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I think they come out and they put it on the Vikings. The Vikings kind of look deflated after they lose into the Buccaneers. So.
Okay. I'll go with the Eagles as well. And then Sunday, kicking off the noon slate, Packers at Atlanta. Note, Christian Watson and Aaron Jones did not practice. Have not practiced this week.
Did not know that.
Yep.
In that case, give me
both hamstring injuries, by the way.
Ooh, soft tissue. Yeah, they're not playing this week. Yeah, give me the Falcons. I think Desmond Ridder with his legs, short passing ability, finds a way to get Kyle Pitts the damn ball. Finally, and they win a game. It's in Lambeau.
At Atlanta.
Okay, they win at home then, 100%.
I will take the Falcons as well in this game. I think I think the Packers hit a real high last week against the Bears. I think they'll come back down a little bit of earth, and I'll take the Falcons in this one as well. Raiders at the Bills.
Raiders at Bills. I think I can see a world where the Bills are 0-2.
And then the panic really sets in for Buffalo. I'm gonna take the Raiders.
I hate Josh McDaniels. Give me the Bills. I said that.
That's your logic. Yeah. That's your reason.
Yeah, fuck Josh McDaniels.
It's no X's and O's. It's just Josh McDaniels.
So it fucking stinks.
I can't say I blame you for that answer.
Yeah.
Ravens add to the Bengals.
Bengals
home opener against Lamar Jackson. I think Bengals are gonna calm down. Joe Burrow's a little rusty. I think they'll figure it out at home with the home crowd. Give me the Ravens. I'm sorry. Give me the Bengals. Joe Burrow always seems to put up good numbers against this Ravens defense, so I'll take the Bengals.
Okay. I mean, if the Bengals lose this game, then man, they lose some credit in the media because they were talking all that shit. Oh, all right, it's week 1 now, guys. Losing week 2, and then it's like, especially in that division and everything. I want to see the temperature get turned up on Zach Taylor a little bit, so I'm gonna give me the Ravens.
You were not a Zach Taylor fan.
Fuck him.
No, you were not. Okay, so you're the Ravens.
Give me the Ravens.
Okay. Seahawks at Detroit for the Lions home opener. Note: Chauncey Gardner-Johnson had asked all the Lions fans to get blue shiesty masks for the game.
That was crazy.
Amazon sold out immediately.
Yep.
Bro, that's about to be an atmosphere.
Yeah, I can't wait to see all those suburban families in the crowd wearing shiesty masks.
When they get the tournament, they just see them go. You just see.
That's gonna be disgusting.
That's gonna be peak television right there. Give me the Lions. They're gonna go 2-0. Give me the Lions.
And this is in Detroit.
In Detroit.
Fucking give me the Lions. Fuck it.
Yeah, give me the Lions in this one. I'm very excited about the Lions this season. Very excited. Colts at the Texans. Battle of 2 rookie quarterbacks, Stroud and Richardson.
I mean, you already know what my pick is because I did say that the other team was going to go 0-17. So give me the Colts.
Yeah, I lean towards Indy too, just because this team put up a lot more of a fight last week. Kind of surprised me a little bit. So, hey, give me the Colts.
Mhm.
We'll see what happens. Chiefs at the Jaguars, a rematch of last year's divisional round game.
Oh, Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Kelsey said on the podcast that he's ready and raring to go.
Chris Jones is back.
Chris Jones is back. I think the other receivers, I think they're a lot more locked in and they're blocking out the noise about, these guys they're kind of letting down pat. Like I think they go out, they make a evident statement that we're still the damn Chiefs.
Okay. I'll go with the Chiefs as well. I like Jacksonville as a team this year, but I just think Kansas City, like you said, coming off a week where they lost at home on their Super Bowl opening night, national television, all the media is talking about. Like you said, the receivers suck. No Kelsey, they didn't win without him. I think they'll come back peed off this week.
Don't want to play a pissed off Patrick Mahomes.
I will say, unfortunately, the Chiefs do not have Sammy Watkins, who just, early season Sammy Watkins is peak.
Yeah.
They will not have that.
Yeah, Sammy's where he needs to be, at home, raising them kids.
Okay, Chicago at Tampa. Justin Fields, Baker Mayfield.
Oh, damn. I like both these quarterbacks, damn it. Why does the NFL do this to me? The Bears need to win more. I need Baker to play well because I don't need the narrative to change.
Okay.
Give me the Bears in a shootout.
Oh, so I guess it's a win-win for you then, wouldn't it be?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I could definitely see a award where it's 38-35.
I think Chicago will bounce back this week. I'll pick the Bears to beat the Bucks. Chargers at the Titans.
Ooh.
On paper, this should be the Chargers' victory. But little do we know, the Chargers always... It's like Jurassic Park. The saying in Jurassic Park, life finds a way.
Mm-hmm.
The Chargers find a way to lose a game in a weird way.
Playing Derrick Henry. Tannehill looked awful.
He did.
I don't expect Tannehill to bounce back. I see two more plus picks. Him and Josh Allen. They're battling for that interception leader.
Okay.
Give me the Chargers.
I'll take the Chargers as well. I mean, they put up a bunch of points last week. Just shockingly, your defensive-minded coach couldn't figure out a game plan. So, Giants at the Cardinals.
Ooh, damn.
I'm ready for chaos to happen. I'm picking the Cardinals at home to win this game.
I mean, they should have won that the Commanders game last week. Should have.
Yeah.
I think the new GM put in that call down the sideline was like, fumble that ball.
Hey, you're looking a little too good here.
Too good. We need to lose, guys.
Give me the Cardinals at home. I don't know if this is like a upset because it is the Giants, but give me the Cardinals.
I'm gonna go Giants. I think they rally around Daniel Jones. He puts up a historic performance for himself, and he cements that
they get back to where they
where they want to be.
Yeah, that's fair. 3:00 games. The Niners traveling to LA to take on the Rams.
Niners.
Brock Purdy looked pretty damn impressive week 1. If I must say so. Also, rest in peace, all you Deebo Samuel fantasy owners. It is Brandon Ayuk's offense now.
That is tough.
Yep.
That is tough.
It is Brandon Ayuk's offense.
People that were buying into Kittle, GG.
Again, it is Brandon Ayuk's offense.
And we're just living in it.
We're just breathing. At 3:25, the New York Jets will come down here, take on the Cowboys.
I know I'm wearing a Dak shirt, but I feel like Dak's going to piss me off this week.
Well, if he plays good, doesn't that piss you off?
Yeah. Either way, I'm going to be pissed off. I think Dak throws a pick Sunday.
Okay.
Brandon Cooks is kind of a tweener right now. Brandon Cooks play, I think we win. His ability to take the top off the defense can really stretch out that back line because I like the Jet safeties, so we need to get them off. CD can run his routes underneath. Same thing as Gallup. Give me the Cowboys.
All right, I'm going to pick the Cowboys as well. I just think right now with the quarterback situation, I think coming off this week, it's going to be too much for the Jets.
A lot of emotions.
Yeah, a lot of emotions. I wouldn't say it's a short week, but you just immediately have to prepare. Your offense is now Zach Wilson's offense, not how Aaron Rodgers would have it. So a lot has to change, pretty quickly.
Time.
Yeah. So coming off this kind of week, I got the Cowboys. Commanders at Denver.
Ooh, battle of mid.
Ron Rivera and Sean Payton, 2 former NFC South coaches.
Give me Give me the Commanders.
Take the Broncos on this one.
I think Sam Howell plays a little bit better, protects the ball, doesn't fumble. I think Terry McLaurin, another week back, healthier.
Mm-hmm.
Think he looks like Terry McLaurin again.
Okay.
Give me the Commanders.
Give me Denver in this one. I think another week. I mean, Russell Wilson looked a lot more comfortable week one. Obviously, they win that game if Will Lutz hits that field goal or if they, potentially recover that onside kick at the beginning of the game. So I'll take Denver. I'll bet Sean Payton figures it out to get his first win as a Broncos coach.
Yeah.
Sunday Night Football, Miami at New England. Battle of the Bama quarterbacks.
You know what?
Give me Miami in this one.
Give me Miami. I think Belichick's got something cooking for Tua in that offense defensively.
So you're taking Miami or New England?
I'm taking New England.
Oh, okay, I'm taking Miami. You said Miami. I was like, wait.
Oh, my bad.
I said, wait, how are you going to pick Miami and then say Bill's cooking?
Oh, no. Bill's going to cook something up for Tua. I think Tua throws a pick or two. And I think it's a close game. I think it comes down to Mac Jones and that offense putting together a drive miraculously.
Okay. I will take Miami in this one. Monday Night Football doubleheader. The Saints at the Panthers.
Saints at Panthers.
Give me the Saints.
Give me...
The Panthers will be without J.C. Horn and DJ Chark.
Which that makes it tough. But give me the Panthers. I think Bryce protects the ball more. I think they establish the run a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
I think they hang around. And they win it by a field goal. Close game. Very close game.
Okay. I will take New Orleans in this one. I think they're the better team. They're the front runner of that division right now. And it's like one of our 2 primetime games. So really need to see it happen in primetime.
Oh, yeah.
And then the last game to wrap it up, it is the Browns decking out the all-white unis, including the white helmet, hosting the Steelers. Oh, I'm sorry, they're going to Pittsburgh. I'm sorry.
To Pittsburgh.
Even the Steelers. I think they'll bounce back.
They better, because George Pickens looked very uninterested on that sideline. So for their sake, I hope they get it together.
They will be without Deontay Johnson.
Yeah. I don't like picking the Browns anymore. So yeah, give me the Steelers.
You feel dirty picking the Browns.
I can't.
You just morally and ethically you can't.
Yeah, I just don't like Deshaun Watson. I've never been really much of a fan of his game.
That's fair. I agree. So okay. Any last notes here, Makai, before we sign off, call it a day?
No, just so glad it's not hot anymore. Enjoy the weather, enjoy football.
It rained today.
It did rain today.
It's a very good day when it rains here.
Oh, yeah, we love that. The plants love it.
Yep.
God, we're so old talking about plants.
Look at us. Who would have thought?
Who would have thunk it?
Not I, but here we are.
But stay in school, kids. Don't do drugs, and don't idolize Dak Prescott.
Oh my God. That just felt like that's a Nathaniel Hackett-esque stray right there.
Fuck him.
Oh, man. That's to wrap things up this week, folks. We'll have the full team back next week. Looking forward to that. We'll have DeAndre and Javonte here, and we'll continue our shenanigans as usual. And until then, this is the final drive, signing off from Alec Mackay. See you guys next time.